Very lucky that it must be probably a year ago. I posted a photo of a Czechoslovakian wolf dog, beautiful, beautiful dog, and I was strongly considering getting one. And then a somewhat celebrity dog trainer, Steve Mann. He's known for being on UK TV a lot and looks after a lot of celebrities' dogs. And he messaged me back and said, like, maybe not. He was saying that it mightn't be the best dog to get. And we had a DM back and forward on Twitter and became somewhat friends, and we've stayed in contact since. And then this weekend he was over in Ireland teaching the teachers. So it was a seminar, a couple of days training for dog trainers. He just messaged me and said, hey, while I'm in town, do you want me to swing by and say hello, meet the dogs? And so that was my first time meeting him. Yeah, you can just pick up like the Rory, who I got Valco from, and Munster Canine has his own dog training school. You immediately get this energy from them, I feel, like a vibe that Rory says that he likes when a dog is owned by like someone from military or martial artists, because they tend to have control over themselves, and if you have control over yourselves, then you can control the dog. Whereas if someone has no control over themselves, they're just living in chaos. How can you control a dog as well? The dog's going to be living in chaos. And I got that from Steve Mann. I just felt within seconds of meeting him, you're around somebody that has 100% control of themselves. And that was evident quickly. He had a couple of different ways of doing things than Rory, and he made the joke, and I'm sure Rory's made the joke to me too, that the only one thing two dog trainers will agree on is that the third dog trainer is wrong. So that was quite funny to see, and I've seen that in martial arts. Obviously, different coaches have different ideas of doing things. I remember one time even speaking to yoga teachers, and I thought, yoga teachers, they're going to be the most passive people in the world. And I mentioned a different style of yoga, and they were completely against it. Oh, that's rubbish! You don't want to be doing that. You want to be doing this yoga. So if you're a baker, yoga teacher, martial arts teacher, dog trainer, you eventually get your own kind of flavor, and you start believing in your way. So it was kind of funny to see that as in all walks of life, which I should have known. Humans are humans. It doesn't matter what you do. People are people. Yes, I do. The one thing, I read this somewhere and I won't remember where, but it always stuck with me, and that was reward behavior you want to see repeated. Or to put it another way, reward effort more than result. I've always been cautious that, I might have a guy in the mat, you might be giving it everything you can. It must be maximum effort, but you might still be losing, whether that's in the training environment or in competition. So if it's in the training environment, that's a little bit on the coach, I think. He's got to be put with more suitable level opponents so that he or she is getting some success. And in competition, again, in Brazilian jiu-jitsu, it's done by belts, so you're a blue belt, you're in with other blue belts. You don't put a blue belt in with a black belt. And in fighting, an amateur guy, he's got X number of fights, should be against a similar, so that the competition is fair. But for me, all I want to see from my guys is maximum effort. If they make a maximum effort, they're going to get the most amount of praise from me. I will always go over the top in praising effort. You could have somebody go in and they didn't do all the sessions that they should have done. In the fight, they land a shot or they finish the person, but they didn't take the maximum effort. That's going to get less praise, even though it's a win, as opposed to somebody who's giving it everything, tries their best, falls short, but lots to take away from it, lots to learn. That's the person that I want to be behind. And I know with the dogs, it's about rewarding behavior you want to see repeated. So I picked that up. I picked that up pretty quick, and it was interesting to see that I guess animals are animals, and with dogs, the behavior you want to get from them, reward it. That's kind of what I picked from that, and there's definitely strong parallels with coaching fighters. We know those horror stories of gyms where the coach is kind of almost like a bullying role. And people do message me all the time, what do you think about this school? What do you think about that school? Or, I live here. How would I know? There's 3 MMA schools. How do I know which one to join? So I would always say, look, show up unannounced and ask, can you watch a class? There's step one. If you refuse that, should be major alarm bells going. If the person won't even let you watch a class, there should be alarm bells going. But if you're greeted at the door by people that seem to be friendly and smiling, and you say, hey, can I watch a jiu-jitsu class I'm thinking of joining, or kickboxing or MMA? And they're like, oh, sure, yeah, come on in, have a seat there. and you watch the class, and so that'd be step one. Step two then, if you're watching the class and people are dropping like flies, being hurt, and people being screamed at, and it's the super aggressive atmosphere, maybe that might suit your personality. I can't talk for everybody, but I know it certainly wouldn't be good for me, and it certainly wouldn't be the atmosphere I want in my gym. You know, when we go to work, we go to work. When the rounds are on, the rounds are on. But it still should be a pleasant atmosphere. I don't think we learn well in an intimidating, fearful atmosphere. I think we're in a state of feeling comfortable in our environment. We trust our training partners. We respect our coach. When that environment is gone, the skill level increases at a rapid pace. I guess bringing it back to what you were saying there, I think a relationship with a dog, for example, if it's based around fear, bullying, I don't think it's going to be reciprocated in the way if it's built around mutual trust and friendship, and they trust you. You know, you feed them, you look after them, you communicate to them simply and directly what behavior you want from them. Then it can be a wonderful relationship. And with a fighter as well, a fighter has to know what you want from them. The right behavior is rewarded, and be in an environment that they feel safe to fail, that they don't feel they're not just intimidated and worried and trying to please. You know, it kind of sets up everything from a negative point of view.